Hello, the internet. Matthew here, coming to you with the third entry in my Mind Program journal. As of this recording, I've had 4 more sessions since my last entry, bringing the grand total up to 16, and I'd like to tell you about some of the effects that I've noticed. I continue to remain more clear-headed, definitely more focused. At the end of my last entry, I had made mention of the fact that I was starting to be able to snap myself back onto task much more easily and much more frequently than I had previously been able to. And I attributed this directly to the Mind Program. And I have to say that that has continued unabated. Now, after my 13th session on July 23rd, I was still feeling good. In fact, most of the week after that session, I felt elated, calm, composed. But things would soon start to change. Now, of course, that doesn't mean things change for the worse, but I just didn't have that sense of euphoria after my 14th session on July 30th. At that point, the electrodes had been moved to a different spot on my skull to affect a different portion of my brain. And it was after that that I started to feel a little off. That night and the next few after, I had experienced some rather intense and honestly pretty rough dreams. I don't really remember what I was dreaming about, but I just didn't feel rested. The rest of that week was kind of very different from the week before. I still had my focus, I still had my drive, I just didn't quite feel the same. And after my 15th session on August 6th, I was definitely feeling more agitated. My temperament was starting to slide back to the way it was before I had started the Mind Program, and I was honestly becoming a little bit concerned. However, in the time since, I have looked back and started to piece a few things together that might actually explain exactly why. If I rewind back to the end of July, I had spoken with a trademark attorney who looked over my business and suggested to me that I restructure and rebrand. I, of course, absorbed her professional counsel and decided to do exactly that. However, what to do and how to do it and where to go from that point left me with a lot of downtime. I had to rethink everything I was doing, re-examine my business, and figure out how to take it in a new direction. And that involved a lot more sitting still than I was honestly comfortable with. Up to that point, I was writing and editing and doing videos and going out and setting up interviews, and now all of that had to stop. So over the next couple of weeks, I got a lot more agitated because all the focus and the drive and the increased ambition that I can attribute to the Mind Program, all that energy now had nowhere to go. So now, before I started to panic and think that it was not going to work for me anymore and that I was just going to backslide and not get anywhere, I remembered what I was told by the experts who have been administering the Mind Program, that sometimes the treatment can actually stir some things up. That made sense, and I was willing and able to calm down a little bit and just continue to play it out. And I'm glad I did so, because on August 13th, I had my 16th session and things again completely changed. Just one day before, I had my eureka moment. I figured out how I was going to rebrand and restructure, what direction I wanted to take my new company in, and things started to fall into place. So almost immediately, my temperament again changed. I again became calmer, much more focused, and was able to see that I was not nearly as agitated as I had been in the weeks before. And since that time, I could say that my temperament has been maybe fluctuating depending on exactly how busy I have been in working towards my goal. And that leads me to a very interesting conclusion. I am a naturally ambitious person. If you're like me, you're going to find that the Mind Program accelerates your drive, increases your ambition, as well as increasing your focus and your ability to return to task if your attention happens to drift off. Now, the problem is, and in many ways this is a problem to have, it seems like if you don't have a proper outlet for all that energy, ambition, and drive, it can lead to a lot of internal friction. You can end up feeling like a car pushing up against a wall and getting nowhere. I'm not saying that this is exactly going to happen to you, but this is something that happened to me, and I think other naturally ambitious people should at least hear this and be aware that this could happen. So that concludes this journal entry. I will, of course, be back again next month with another update after I've had another 4 sessions. If you have any questions or comments about my experience in the MIND program in general, of course you can leave those down in the comment section below and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Of course, you'll get the best information if you check out the links in the description to the Phi Center to learn about the MIND program directly, or to email or call one of the experts over there. So for now, this is Matthew signing off and reminding you to get out of your own way. I know I sure am. Take care, everybody.